If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press 2. We thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, so yesterday, right? What we did, we were talking about Fly, and we were talking about what he said about Barry Mills. Okay,
Yeah.
the murders that happened in Atlanta. Barry killed.
Right. I got it.
Okay, so like I'm going to go over it a little bit just because we didn't. It never got recorded.
Turn it on. What happened? You
It's
had
all
that
right.
good system going, nice and loud and clear.
It's no
and
more.
it wasn't
Yeah.
fucking working.
Yeah, but this fucking thing, man, it's the only way it's going to work is this way. Is it all right with you now or not? Not too good.
I'm good. I can hear you.
All right.
I just got to turn this phone up all the way.
All right. Yeah, so anyway, Barry had killed 2 people in Atlanta.
Are you turned on?
I'm on. We're already on. As soon as you came on, I already had it on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
yeah, what happened, man, is he was down there. He went down there from McNeil Island.
right.
He got shipped out of McNeil, went down to Atlanta, landed down there, and he got arrested twice.
Right.
For homicide. The first one was that one guy that was with the over a drug thing was with a guitar. He gave a guy an electric guitar over some drugs to get some drugs, and then he wanted the guitar back. So I don't know if it was like a hot job, the guitar for the drugs, whatever, and then he paid him back or did whatever he did or whatever. But anyhow, he wanted the guitar back, and the dude didn't want to give him the guitar back.
Right.
And that's why that dude got killed.
His name was his name was Harold
STANFIELD. He got thrown in the hole.
Right.
Was under investigation. They let him back out because if that was the one he got booked, if that was the one he got booked on, if that was the second one, he wouldn't have got back out of the hole, and he would have got tried or at least sent down to the control unit for it. That didn't happen. He got back out to the line at Atlanta.
Right.
And then what happened? He was down there doing what he's doing, and that dude Marsloff was in Leavenworth.
Right.
And he had fucking bought some fucking dope, and
from Tommy. Tommy Silverstein.
And then he was trying to burn him, not pay for him. Then he was in the hole talking shit. He's leaving. I'm leaving. You ain't gonna get me. Blah blah blah. And they sent him down to Atlanta. And then a wire was bounced through Michigan, down to Atlanta, and says, "Hey, this is what this fucking dude did. He's talking shit. He burned motherfucker out of money, and it wasn't a lot of money. It was the principle of it."
Right.
And he was told take care of that. So he got Danny Holiday, and they lured the guy out to the wreck shack on the yard at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Under the pretense that it's a dope deal. When they got him in there, that dude was sitting on the shitter.
Right.
When Barry hit him, he started hitting him in the neck. He had a big piece that was real sharp, and he was hitting him in the neck. He told me too. He said, "Man, he was shocked, that it almost took his head off because, hey man, you got a good sharp piece of steel. It's going through flesh. It's going right through flesh like a hot knife through butter.
Right.
The human bodies are soft.
Yeah.
They're just really soft. I don't
Soft
care how big
tissue.
you are, muscled up you are. A sharp piece of steel would just cut you right to ribbons.
Yeah.
So he almost took his head off.
Yeah.
And then he got arrested for that one, didn't get back out, was sent down to the control unit for it, and then ultimately went to trial down in Atlanta for it and got 2 life sentences.
Yeah,
because he got hit on a murder and a conspiracy to commit murder.
Right.
And that's how that went down.
Yeah, see.
If somebody else is saying, if it's Fly or whoever, saying that they got that reverse order, Marslow first and the other guy, no, that's wrong.
Right, I know. Stanfield got murdered first. Stanfield got murdered first.
Absolutely.
Harold Stanfield.
And that was behind the guitar.
And he told you that, and what he told you was that it was behind a guitar that he had give to.
Barry told me that. You got to remember, man. I go back. He's dead now. But me and him went back, to the mid '70s.
I remember, yes. So
we're part of the same organization. We're on the same national commission together.
Yeah. So I
Him,
mean,
T.D. Bingham, and me.
so basically,
You know,
he's told you, and we already knew. I knew that too. That he had killed. What's his name? Not Stubblefield.
Stansfield.
Stanfield. He killed Harold Stanfield first. Got it back, and they couldn't prove it. They bring him back out of the hole, and a few months later, he kills what the fuck, Marzloff, right?
Yeah.
And that one he got booked on, and
Yeah.
and the reasons he told you was that behind he hocked the guitar for some drugs, and Harold Stanfield
Here's an
refused.
electric guitar, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
Stanfield.
exactly what it was.
Yeah, he
I don't know what
refused.
all these other guys talking about, and Barry ain't gonna lie to me.
No.
He has no reason to lie about it.
Right, that's what I'm
He said
saying.
it out straight up. This is what it is.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up,
me and him's brothers we're in the same organization, and bottom line is all the other ones are outsiders. There's a lot of speculation, but I'm telling you what it is.
Right, I
That's
believe.
exactly what the trip was, right?
Yeah.
So
Anyway, he told.
hey man, normal shit in the fucking penitentiary, real penitentiaries, not these other motherfuckers, but real penitentiaries, hard rock pens. That's how it goes down. Especially, hey man, that's how that shit goes down, man. Drugs and and all the other stuff, gambling and money and homosexuals and informants, and all that. They'll get motherfucker killed in a heartbeat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And those are the basic fucking things that get motherfuckers whacked.
I'm just going to tell you.
A lot of the gang stuff, tip shit, competition, trying to control shit, prior beefs, carrying over from other spots or carrying over from the streets or whatever. That's just how that shit is, right?
Yeah. So anyway, let me explain something.
That's what happened with Barry.
Right.
He caught that first case.
So what happened was he came out on the show with called Blood on a Razor Wire, which is another big station run by Chad Marks, and he told a story that him and Barry were cool, and in Atlanta, and he and Barry and he fronted Barry some heroin, right? And Barry was.
He did what?
He said he fronted Barry some heroin. He fronted it to him.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that Barry was, supposed to sell it and give him the money, but he said that Barry came back and told him that Harold Stanfield had found his stash and he stole the fucking heroin. And he said that in order, to straighten it, he wasn't going to let that go down like that. So he was going to take care of business. And the very next day, he killed Stanfield. So Fly was
no,
like...
No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something. If that's it, if that was it, he would have told me that. There's no secrets between us.
I know, bro, but listen. Wait. Here's what I'm trying to say. I believe there's a good possibility that he did get fronted some fucking heroin from Fly. He got that dope and he put it in his pocket and told Fly, look, this other motherfucker stole our dope and I'm getting ready to take care of that. And he went and killed him. But in reality, it was over something different. So he got the dope and didn't have to pay for it, and didn't look like like he had beat the guy or nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. That could have happened too, because I'm not. Listen, if he was just gonna burn Fly, he would have told me he burned him.
Well, he might have left that.
He would have told me. I'm not talking about anybody else, but he would have told me. And me and him was real cool. We aren't just cool. We're like real cool. In fact, when I got in that set, he was the driving force to get me in that set that reached out to certain people. Because you got to understand something. Back in the days when the brand first started, you had to be from California in a California pen to be hooked up. That's all there is to it. And then it expanded out. You had to be in a California pen. You could be from other places in the world, but you had to be in a California pen. And then once it started expanding out further, it started going out to the feds because a lot of the fellows was getting out in the feds. And so Barry was the one that reached back to Baby C and the rest of them back there in the pens in California. Said, listen, man, we got this whole rest of the country to farm out here. There's a lot of good dudes and blah, 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 and all that. So anyhow, they authorized that from the state. That's how the second aspect of the brand, the federal family of the brand, came into being. So me and Barry was like really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know, he'd been trying to get me in that fucking car for a long time. I was never a wannabe to be part of fucking a crew, right? And I got my own shit going on. So the thing is the only thing that finally convinced me it was Puppet and Coach and DC and all them and all that. I told him, listen, man, the only thing that interested me along those lines, if you guys were organizing in the streets, because my background coming up in the streets as a youngster, I was affiliated with the Italians, their mob, and the Casisco mob and stuff like that, right? Organized shit in the streets as a kid coming up. And they says, oh, that's where we're going. That's what we're putting together, blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing that induced me to go that way. Other than that, I told them, listen, man, you're good white man, you're good convicts, you're solid, you're, you know, the whole trip. And, you know, off the top, man, you know, if I can help you out on anything, you know, that's how I do it anyhow.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, I was moving a lot of weed and other shit into Marion. And so the bottom line is you know, and I break everybody off. I don't give a fuck. Hey, I don't give a fuck what color your ass is. I don't give a fuck what gods you pray to. I don't care about none of that. If you're solid, if you're a righteous and thorough motherfucker, man, I look out. That's how I do that. I recognize, man. I recognize motherfucking solid motherfuckers, and that's how I do it. So, and the same thing applied to them. So, and even more so because I'm a white man and they're white men. So, you know, that's just how it is. So, anything going down this shit, if there was some shady shit or this, that, what, he would have told me that.
Yeah, you know.
He would have told me that, and he would have told me that, hey, you know, there could maybe be a little static. If he did that, he could say there could be a little static because they're thinking blah, 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 because I ran this drag about this motherfucker stole the shit, when really I was slinging it or I was putting it in my arm, because, you know, Barry was a fucking heroin addict, too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You know,
No
that's the bottom line.
I mean,
He was the first one. He was the first one always saying, "Oh yeah, we should get away from fucking dope and all that. It leads to all these problems, and it does. And it's a bad fucking trip, and it does. And but as soon as the motherfucking sack hits, he's the first motherfucker with his beak in the spoon.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, like I told him one time, I said, "Listen, man, this is what you got to understand. Most of the fellas." Even before they were the fellas,
they
come in off the streets. They're doing what they're doing in the streets, but they're all using.
Yeah.
They're either heroin addicts or they're whatever. That's just what they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this shit turns into organized crime. You got dudes coming in off the streets, and if you're just moving shit for you and maybe a partner or two, you can get your little sacks. They don't have to be big. But once you start getting crews together and they're all using, now you got a lot of mouths to feed. So you got to organize shit, get bigger motherfucking sacks, and so you can sling that shit, make your nut, re-up, do all that shit. So that's what that turns into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So out in California, in fact, you had Blue, and then you had Youngster and all them other guys. That's split into two families out there in the state. And one is, they were all motherfucking dope fiends. But then the other ones were like trying to get into like reform dope fiends. So the crew that was still using was referring to the crew that was talking about getting away from dope, referring to them as the Jerry Falwells. You know what I'm saying?
The what?
So it was turning into a trip. So dope has always been a problem. Dope is always a problem. So like I told fucking Spuds, old Barry, I said, listen, man, it's real simple. You cannot tell someone who has been a fucking dope fiend his whole life to just stop dope. It's not going to happen. He's going to use. That's all it do. They got underlying psychological issues. That's why they use that fucking shit. So what you got to do is say, listen, use the motherfucking shit, but use it on your time. Don't use it on brand time. Don't use it on organizational time. And don't do anything with it that's going to draw the organization into bad fucking trips with it. You know, negative shit where, you know, motherfuckers are going to get in wrecks, pick up cases, whatever. Don't do that. And keep your shit right, whatever it is. If you're going to somebody and they're fronting you something, if they front you, you know, an ounce for whatever, and you're supposed to pay them back so much, you make sure your fucking business is good.
Right.
So you go on and sling your shit, do what you got to do. You make that motherfucking end for them, so you keep shit right. And then what you got on the side, you go and you put it in your elbow or whatever the fuck you're doing, right?
Right.
But the bottom line is, do not create a bunch of problems over some fucking chemicals. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, well, that's the
So,
driving force behind these tips anyway, bro. Like right now in the fucking California system, that
Yeah.
SAC is above everything else, man. In fact, you know, they got cell phones out there, even in the fucking hole. You know, people are in the hole,
Yeah, absolutely.
setting up things on the street, having shit brought in, and like it's a big fucking business inside and outside, and it's being controlled, you know, through cell phones and shit like that. So you got motherfuckers with full blown habits, motherfuckers that have money, you know, in the penitentiary out there. You know, they got full blown habits and shit. You know.
A whole bunch of them got full blown.
Yeah, it's not a, you know.
They strung out like dogs, man.
Yeah, and
Listen, I was out there, man, and
yeah.
kids are walking around with motherfucking green dot numbers in their pockets,
Mm-hmm.
and they're coming up trying to buy motherfucking shit, whether it's you know, black or clear or, you know, whatever the fuck it is, right?
Right.
And they give you the number, and the motherfucker get on the phone, check the number.
Right.
And as soon as the number's good and they transfer it over, they give them the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, in California, let me tell you something, man. In California, there's cell phones everywhere. There's drugs everywhere. There's motherfucking, everybody's down with the lick, including the police.
Wow. Yeah,
That's just how it is, man.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, it's wide open, man. You know, that's just all there. And then, see, then there's another thing, like in California, you aren't supposed to be doing business like that, dope business, across race lines. You're not supposed to do that. So the thing is this is why you got to get your own motherfucking sack in for your own people.
Right.
Because otherwise people are going across them fucking lines and doing business and all that. And then if they do bad business, you're creating not only bad business and the static with that, but now you're creating racial problems. That's why it's a no-no out there. You can't go across racial lines doing none of that shit. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a terrible thing out there, man. It's like I say, the driving force behind a lot of shit in that system, and all systems really, is drugs, man. You know.
Well, listen, it's real simple. It's real simple. Whether it's in the pen or in the streets. Listen, if people's lives aren't going well, if they're not happy, if they got psychological issues, just from the life journey, doesn't even have to be any predisposition to genetic shit or their upbringing, abuse, or anything. It could be all that too, but it could just be, you know, life's kind of rough. So that's why you got beer joints. That's why you got fucking liquor and all that. They authorized all that so people can go and motherfucking go to the neck with that shit and take the edge off. That's just how it is. Well, it's the same thing that happens with drugs. How it works in life, if your life is going really well and you're happy and everything is fine, you're getting your fix, your good feelings, your joy and everything from the natural flow of your own inner energies, which is bliss. When the shit starts going a little bad, what happens is people start getting loaded, drinking booze, using drugs or whatever. And the worse it gets, they do that. So what happens if you're in a pen and you're motherfucking, you're doing a jolt in the pen and your life is going sideways, you really want to get a fix.
Sure.
Because your fucking life is turned into a disaster. There's nothing complex about that shit. All right, they're going to cut us off, man.
All right.
You have a good one. Stay up. I'll holler at you tomorrow, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right?
Bye.
All right. Be safe.
Yeah, I don't totally agree with what he said, man. I think there is a good chance that that Barry did burn Fly. I think he might have, because he wouldn't. Why wouldn't he? You know. And here's something else. I got to tell you about this. I know Harold Stanfield. He was a big fucking guy, man. He was 6'6". He was very fucking aggressive. The very first time I seen him was when I walked into D Cell House in Atlanta. He was on the second tier, and he was talking to two black guys who were on the first tier. He was cursing at them. He called them the N word. He said, "Both yous come up here right now, and I'll fuck yous both up." I was like shocked, you know what I mean? Because like we're in a fucking major federal penitentiary and he's just fucking going for it, man. Racial shit and all that, right? I'm like, wow, this motherfucker's crazy. But he's a big fucking guy, you know what I mean? Anyway, the whole point is he sold heroin. I actually don't know if he used it. I know that he was always, involved in selling hard drugs in Atlanta. And he was the type of guy who, if you owed him money, you better pay him on time. He was coming to see you. He was very aggressive, very aggressive. All right. So, you know, uh, my understanding, and now listen, I'm talking from Barry was not alone when he killed him. All right. There were two other people there involved in that murder, and they were not indicted, and I'm not going to say their names, but they told me, one of them told me, that the reason for the murder was Barry owed him money. He owed him money. And the guitar was only a small piece of that. He owed him much more than that guitar. He wasn't getting the guitar back. And not only that, but Stanfield wanted him to pay the rest of the money that he owed, that he had. You know what I mean? So you know, and he was the type of guy that'll tell you, listen, we're gonna have a fucking problem, dude, if you don't pay me my fucking money. And that was probably music to Barry's ears, because Barry would rather kill you than pay you. You know what I mean? Like that's just who he was. He wanted all the heroin for himself. Uh, he liked putting he liked to get his kill card punched. He liked that. It was his thing. He wanted to kill at least one person in every prison that he went to. That's a fact. And another thing, and I kind of respect this, is Barry had a thing about who he would kill. He didn't want to kill no little people. He wanted to kill big motherfuckers because he felt like, okay, you're not going to get any stripes for killing some little weak dude. You know what I mean? Uh, but if you kill a big motherfucker, like a titan, like a fucking like a big guy like Stanfield, oh, you're going to get some stripes. Motherfuckers are going to know you for who you are. This is the man that killed Harold Stanfield. Stanfield was a fucking giant, man. He was aggressive. He was dangerous, man. And this guy just went through him like a hot knife through butter, you know. And as far as the killing was concerned, it was a very impressive killing, man. Very impressive. And the second killing of Marzloff, like John said, and everybody knew at the time, he almost cut Marzloff's head off. He almost decapitated Marzloff. Anyway, my point being that, yeah, I believe that he might have, uh, I believe he might have got that dope from Sly. I believe that. I believe he took that dope and told Sly, listen, this guy stole the dope. I'm getting ready to kill him. And Sly was like, do what you got to do, bro. You know what I mean? So what the fuck can I say, Do what you got to do. And I believe that's what happened. I really do. I don't think John knew every little thing because there's a lot of times I'm talking to John, he don't know a whole lot of things that I think he should know, things that I know that I thought everybody knew, you know. Uh, but anyway, that's the whole point of this video was to show how dangerous Barry really was. I mean, on many levels, not just the physical level, but mentally, man, how he could manipulate, how treacherous he was, man. You know what I mean? Uh, if he didn't have to pay you, he wasn't going to pay you, you know? He was Barry Mills. Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Oh, you want money? I'll get you money. Yeah, I'll have it for you tomorrow. Yeah, and tomorrow they're picking your body up out of the shower, and yeah. So that's enough for today, man. That's the video that I started to do yesterday in that first half before we started talking about Pirate McNally, uh, you know, uh, and somebody reached out to me and said that they know Michael. I mean, that they know, excuse me, that they know Pirate McNally, and that he's in St. Louis, and that they are friends with him, and they're going to try to get him to contact me. I hope that happens. I'd like to talk to him, and I would like to, maybe even do an interview with him like I do with John. I haven't seen him in 50 years. He's a good dude, and yeah. So that was a good episode we just did, and I hope that everybody likes and subscribes and leaves a comment because it also helps the algorithm. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. All right.